force is there and it doesn't move, they say work has not been done. So if you like, you hit your head against this wall. If the wall doesn't move, as far as physicists are concerned, you have not worked. So we must begin to see work from a point of view of output than the point of view of input. So it is not enough that I have tried my best. It's good to try your best. If your best is not good enough, it is not good enough. You must find ways of working in such a way that you make effect, that there is effect, that there is result, that there is output. As we continue to engage this our emerging character of work, going towards this future of work, for us as Christians, we should continuously remember that our notion of work is rooted in creation. Creativity. Not the mere repetition of routines. And I made allusions to that in the morning. So, we should see work as our calling as people of God. We should see work as an element of stewardship to God. So as the environment of work, as work itself, the way we work, the nature of work, the manner of work continues to change, not only are we supposed to address the technical levels of the change, we are supposed to also engage spiritual discernment in how we are going to respond to this change. No matter the level of automation or autonomy that these new developments bring, we must still see work as sacred, as a calling. And maybe I should make a distinction between automation and autonomy. Automation and autonomy is what differentiates traditional computing, in which a computer can be doing something by itself again and again and again, based on algorithms that human beings have given it. But in autonomy, the computer is not depending on algorithms anymore. The computer is depending on what we call models. Models that it learned from historical data. You are feeding data into the computer, and the computer is looking at the data critically, and after looking at the computer critically, it starts to see patterns. And once the computer starts seeing patterns, it's beginning to say, if this happens, this is what's going to happen next. If this happens, this is what's going to happen next. If this happens, this is what's going to happen next. And that is what has brought us to where we are now. All these things about transformers, large language models, big data, and all that. Everything we refer to as big large language models, GPT, chat being just one application, all it is trying to do is, whenever you give a statement to it, it tries to predict what should come next. That's all. It just tries to predict the next word. And that is by giving it lots and lots and lots of data to be able to predict what comes next. And so if you give it 2-3 words and it predicts what comes next, you now have, say, 4 words. You put the 4 words back into it, it predicts what comes next. You now have 5 words. Take the 5 words, put it back into it, it predicts what comes next. And that way it goes on and on and on until it gives you a full story. It gives you the answer to the questions you are asking. Basically, that is what it's doing. So, and that is autonomy, as different from something being automatic. Automation versus autonomy. So these are the two developments we've had. Even at the state of automation, our work was heavily affected. Very, very much affected in the age of what I refer to as traditional computing, which all the computer did for us for many years was all to remember, because our memories are limited. So we can use the computer to remember many things, and the computer remembers as, you know that your book remembers more than you. It's just that it cannot tell you the information is here. But what the computer is not able to tell you is it cannot tell you it's on page 4. So that was the first thing the computer offered human beings. Remembering, be able to retrieve information and calculation. But now the computer has gone beyond that. It is able to predict, and that is what we refer to as autonomy. So regardless of the level of automation, level of autonomy, we must, as Christians, we must see work as sacred, as calling, as vocation, as something demanded from us by God. And we have to continue to work, because in John 5:17, the Bible says, my Father is always at work to this very day, and I too am working. And when I was young, the song they talk to us is Mufekin Dabi Jesu. I want to be like Jesus. So if, because God is working, Jesus is working, we too will continue to work. And we now have to find ways of ensuring that all these developments do not stop us from working. Because when Jesus made the statement that his Father is working and he too is working, the context was that he was accused of working on the Sabbath. And he says, Sabbath? It was made for man. Man was not, Sabbath is not a God with small g that you now have to worship. It's Sabbath, I can't work. Sabbath was made for man. And in the same vein, all these developments are made for us. We are not made for them. And this is where our responsibilities as people of God, as children of God, more so sons of God, come in. We are to play a role, a very, very important role, in fact, a vital role in ensuring that this technology is not used for the negative. Our work in this development is cut out for us. It is not to stand before a moving train and say, no, we resist artificial intelligence. It is not to stand before a moving train and say we resist technology. Yes, technology has its possible negative repercussions if applied negatively. So our vocation, the work we are cut out to play in this development is to ensure that it is used for good. That's why we are here. It is the responsibility God has given us. All these developments, information technology, artificial intelligence, have significant moral consequences. And we must continue to see them as neutral, meaning that they can be applied for positive or negative. And that responsibility of constraining it to be used positively and not to be used negatively is ours. We are the ones that know the heart of God. We are the ones that have a connection with God, that we can use this, our understanding and connection with God, to ensure that these things are not used negatively. Don't look at yourself here as insignificant people who are just following technological developments. No. We have a clear responsibility given to us by God